This year, in 2016, we are celebrating a great achievement here at Humber.
20 years.
20 years.
20 years of our partnership with Ningbo University.
Happy 20th anniversary.
The Ningbo-Humber partnership is a partnership between Ningbo University in Ningbo, China, and of course Humber College, the business school here in Toronto. The essence of the program is that international Chinese students at Ningbo study a 2-year diploma in Ningbo and then come to Canada to our business school and complete a 3-year business administration diploma.
It really is a great model. 2 years in China, 1 year there with our faculty, and then they complete the 3rd year here.
This program teaches them how to learn in a Western style. That's why the program sends teachers to China.
In our classes here, you'll have group activities, you'll have group problem solving or individual problem solving, you have discussions, debates, so they get students engaged in their learning. And this is quite outside of the students' normal experience back home.
Both Ningbo University and Humber College believe in the program, the value for the students. I mean, they get a cross-cultural experience.
We really try to make a really special little community here for them at Humber.
The Ningbo partnership began in 1996 with the first cohort of students coming to Canada in 1998.
What I remember most about that first cohort is just how excited they were to be in Canada and to be having an international experience.
When they were coming to Toronto for the first time, everything was so new for them, and it's almost kind of like fish out of water.
When they first get off the airplane, they look a little bit confused, and we're trying to get them together at the airport.
When they get here, they are very shy. There's a big culture shock.
They're, of course, separated from their families possibly for the first time. They're in a totally different cultural experience, and for some of them, it is quite scary. So this is a good training ground for them. I think it's an interesting experience, not unlike anything they've ever had in their lives.
For them, it's completely transformational. They come off the plane as one person and they leave here as another. I would always welcome them, and I would always say to them, the year is going to go by very, very quickly, and you must really try to make the most of your year here. And then fast forward 10 months later, and you really can see how they've evolved over the year. Before getting into their academic year in September, we spend about 4 to 5 weeks where we really focus on their entire experience here. So we get them in English classes. We do lots of activities to orient them around the city.
In the summer, we start off with the urban adventure where they run around the city and get to know the city, which is such a great event.
We are almost win.
Okay, you're in first place, so go quickly. Go,
go, go, go, go, go! The first one! Oh, yeah!
And the big winners! $100 gift certificates from Cadillac Fairview.
My favorite event was always the Moon Festival because it always coincided with our Thanksgiving, and I think it was, for me, a double header in terms of appreciating different cultures and their experience within that culture.
Welcome to our annual celebration where we celebrate our two cultures, so the Moon Festival or the Mid-Autumn Festival and the Canadian Thanksgiving.
My favorite event is the pumpkin carving contest. We give them the Halloween experience, which they very likely haven't seen anything like that.
Going to the International Christmas Party, it's a great experience for the students to see. One year, the students actually joined in for some of the dancing. It was really great to see them learning and having fun with people from a different culture.
One of my strongest memories of a social event is the first time I went with the Ningbo students to a Blue Jays game. The students could feel the energy of the rest of the crowd and really join joined in with the festivities. It was really interesting to see them become, in a sense, honorary Torontonians.
They'd have loads of pictures of the various outings that we had taken them on, the ski trips and all the rest of the stuff. And they got a lot of experience that they just wouldn't have gotten if they'd stayed in their own country. I particularly loved going to China. It's an incredible place.
Ningbo is a beautiful city. It has beautiful views, beautiful people, very friendly.
One of my favorite memories of just being in Ningbo is something they call the Bund. So Ningbo has a river that runs through it, and they have a wonderful commercial district that winds along the shores of that river.
I think I took something like 1,000 pictures the first time I went. It was just inspiring to see how beautiful that part of the world could be.
It's a great university. It was a real experience to be there. We were treated as foreign teachers working in the university, as friends of China and friends of the university.
I felt special. Like, they were really great at making me feel welcome. I was invited into people's homes and being invited out to dinners with students who were coming to Canada. Their parents would want to meet me, invite me out for dinner, saying, "Oh, take care of my son, take care of my daughter."
I got to see where our students come from and the food that they talk about that's so great.
And I remember the Lazy Susan and how it would go round and all the variety of foods and just the delicacies of that culture.
Before I worked in the Ningbo-Jimei partnership, I'd never been to China. I've learned a lot about Chinese culture and the country of China from this program. So I think that, learning never stops, and we learn from students as much as they learn from us.
I believe the program has a wonderful reputation. The students have an opportunity to use it as a stepping stone to university.
The main thing they gain is an international business experience. More than anything else, they'll pick up contacts, they'll pick up knowledge and experience, and they'll have a good understanding of Canadian ways of doing business.
One of the things, of course, for some of them is that their families are involved in businesses, and this is an interesting primer for them should they decide to get involved in their parents' business.
I love this program. It's such a fantastic program. We build these relationships with students who come from somewhere so far away, and we become so close and build such a tight relationship and community.
I had one student, his aunt was a very famous artist, and she had done some calligraphy, and it was a scroll of a very famous poem. He gave it to me at the end of the school year. I'm like, "Oh, thank you, that's really nice." And he said, "My father gave this to me. It's a family heirloom. You give this to someone in Canada who made a difference in your life." To know the impact you make on some students' lives is just absolutely wonderful. And then to see those students go on to university, to graduate, to start a career in Canada, or to go back home overseas and either start a business or work for their family business was fantastic.
When the students, get that acceptance letter going, okay, I am going on to a university, I am going to get a degree, I think that's very exciting. And then, to run into those students in the hallway here at Humber and go, okay, how is it going? Well, it's hard, but it's really good, and I'm making friends. That is huge for me.
What makes a partnership last is the relationships, and 20 years is a really long time for a partnership of this nature to last. So it was those friendships that really took the partnership both to the next level and provided that longevity.
It's a true partnership, a successful partnership that I think we are the envy of many institutions because we have been able to sustain the partnership for 20 years. So thank you to Ningbo and thank you to Humber College for doing that.
There's something in your heart that draws you to this program. Just watching them grow is priceless.
I have been blessed to be a part of this program, and I just want to say congratulations to both Humber and Ningbo.
This one makes a difference, and we see it happening before our very eyes.